Jimmy Jam. I'm here with Miss Leah, and I'm here with BC. My good people, our weekly show together, and I love it. How you guys doing today?
Good,
Doing
good.
good. Yeah. Thank you.
Good day. Hot.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
hot. It's hot is what it is. I just realized I went in my bag, and the day after work, we actually stopped at a restaurant today, and I forgot my bag. Of course, my bag was in the car because I didn't know we was going to be going out to eat, and I had a Twix, not a Twix, but I had a Twix, and I went to get something out of my bag before we came on tonight, and I reached in the bag and I realized this right here got melted. You can tell how hard it is now because it was in the car for over an hour. So it's like this right here got melted. The sun over here is really hot. That's for sure. It's really hot. But man, it's good to be back on with you guys again today. It's it's once again we know that it's a slow time, but with Kentucky basketball and a little bit of football here and there, it's always something to talk about when it comes to Kentucky. And us four horsemen tonight. Usually 21 would be part of the four horsemen, but we got Leah stepping in tonight with us tonight. Uh, usually, we all know that this right here is a sports show. We try to stick to sports, if not 100% of the time, 99.9% of the time. We like to stick to sports. I think it's kind of hard considering what's going on with me being in Saudi Arabia right now. It always happens, gentlemen and ladies. It always happens when I go to bed at night. Everything is nice. So I went to bed because I know I had to get up tonight, and I went to bed maybe about 4:45 yesterday. Yeah, because it's tomorrow for us. And I went to bed and the sun was out, and of course, people was talking about what was going on in the world, but I wake up and I got all kind of texts. Hey man, it's time to come home now, and I'm like, dude, like what happened? Like I just went to bed 7 hours ago, and so I went and looked to see what was going on, and it looks like Iran has, I guess, has attacked or shot a missile or whatever at the base in Qatar. Now Qatar is only 4 hours away from me, so
Mhm.
I was like, maybe I should think about what's going on. So, like, what are you guys' thoughts as far as what's going on in the world today? I mean, is this the beginning of something much bigger now? I know President Trump spoke about, I see it seemed like he was pretty adamant about that, it was only a one-time strike. They wanted to hit the nuclear places or whatever, and that's pretty much all he wanted to do. Do you guys see this as something that's about to really blow up and get bigger than what it is?
I think I think having Trump as a president, I'm not a political person, but
Okay.
as far as the world goes and the things that are going on in the world, I think this is the first president we've actually had that people are actually scared of.
Okay.
Like, cuz if he wants to do something, he's going to do it.
Yeah.
And they're just trying to keep the peace basically, and when there's a treaty that says you can't have nuclear arms and you're building nuclear arms, I think he did the right thing.
Okay, it's Jimmy kind of pointed out to me as well. I think you did, Jimmy. I think you sent me the poll of that like 79% of Americans who voted was actually in approval of what he did.
Yeah.
Uh, BC, you got any thoughts on that, man?
Well, when a country their main goal is to build a nuclear weapon, and their targets is Israel and the United States,
Yeah.
you try to do everything you can to disarm it, and it is what it is. They get a nuclear bomb, we and Israel are on their target. So
Okay.
I don't have no issues with it,
Okay.
and it's I think it's just the Bible says it's going to be rumors and rumors of wars.
Okay.
Some people say it's we're on the brink of World War III. I don't know. I know that I'm glad we're trying to protect our country and our allies, and war's not a good thing. It never is.
Yeah.
But you gotta protect the country and do things like that. Especially when you have people that they get a nuclear weapon, they coming straight for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, Jimmy, do you feel like Trump will have to respond to this since Iran has now shot a missile at an American base in Qatar?
Well, I mean, before they actually did this, you know, shot off a missile, he already said if anything happened and they did not want to have peace, that he said there's 5 easy targets that we can, target right now. We still have two of our, greatest aircraft carriers sitting right over there with all the two submarines sitting right up underneath of them. I mean, I don't think it's over, but if they do not back down, I believe, Trump, he's going to push the button and say, hey, we'll knock out their electricity grids, communications, and, things like that.
And a
You
lot
know,
and a lot of times you have to I know sometimes, Mike, you go all over the world and you probably know this as well. If you talk to a lot of people from Iran, especially in America, they will tell you that they want a different regime. They
Mm-hmm.
will tell
okay,
you that they want, even if you go to Gaza City, it's a lot of people that don't want Hamas in
Yeah.
in office in the government. You go to
okay,
Mexico, it's people that would tell you Mexico's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
what I do here in the United States, I will probably only get paid $1.50 there. It's
yeah,
because the
Yeah.
cartel pretty much run, the government in Mexico, or the
yeah,
government scared of the cartel.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty much, we see on the news, when we see people protesting over there, it's people that are for Hamas or for Iran government.
okay,
They never talk to the people that's not for them because they are
Right.
scared to even talk against the government. So
yeah.
a lot of people in Iran, they don't show it, but in also in Gaza City, they're rooting for the United States.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I agree with you because a lot of times, like you said, they're afraid to step up. They're afraid to say something. But
Yeah.
deep down inside, they want change. They want better. And, a lot, if you look back through history, who has everybody turned to for better? The United States.
Yeah. I guess that blueprint for being able to voice your opinion and not being afraid. I mean, BC, you hit it right on the head. I would love to talk about what the people that I don't want in charge, but as soon as I do that, me, my family, my cousins, the guy I spoke to yesterday in the
Right.
coffee line, we
Yeah.
might not make it to the next day. And
Mm.
that's just the reality of
And
not being able to say what you really feel, and so
it's like
but
a catch, 22, because people will, they will misuse freedom. Because you have, like,
Mm-hmm.
you look
yeah,
at the protests that's going on, with all the stuff that's happening in LA and New
LA,
York and
yeah,
all that. Those same people wouldn't protest in Mexico, and the Mexico government's way worse than the United States government.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
yeah,
not saying our
yeah,
Right.
government's perfect, but they
yeah,
protest here because of the freedom, but they wouldn't
yeah,
protest in Mexico like
yeah.
that.
Right. You're right.
So sometimes you can have freedom and misuse it.
Yeah.
And you know what?
They're
And
abusing the freedoms that they get here in the United States.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and that was one of my thoughts too, as well. Is um, do they come here and do they abuse that of what they're able to do over here because of the freedoms that they have? That was something that was on my mind too, as well. So um,
And
so
Americans
I'm
do
def.
too.
Oh, absolutely. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
by a long
Yeah.
shot. By a long shot.
Yeah.
People think just because they can say something, then they do say something. And sometimes even the Bible speaks about that. You got to have you got to be able to control your tongue. And but not everybody's able to do that as well. So I'm definitely going to. I mean, I'm pretty sure because it's only just after 1 a.m. here, so I'm pretty sure that with them hitting Qatar like they did, I'm pretty sure today will probably be more information put out for us as far as what to expect, or even if we're going to expect anything at all. And if I hear anything on my end or whatever, then I would definitely keep you guys up to date on what's going on with me and stuff like that. And I appreciate all the prayers and everything. I get a lot of people who text me, be like, "Hey man, I'm worried about you." People like, "Hey, it's time to pack your bags, come on." And I'm
Yeah.
like, so, I just, I just, I didn't. This ain't what I signed up for. But when you come over here, you always know, even in the most peaceful of times, you always know that that's kind of something that it's always there, whether it's peacetime or whatever. So I'm definitely aware of what's going on, and I definitely keep you guys. So hey man, once again, that was just one of those world issues that was going on, and I think it appears that it may get better before it gets worse. And as a team, the guys who you guys make the Loyal BBN Fan Show work so good, Leah, BC, and Jimmy, and 21 behind, as well. So I just wanted to, just kind of just talk to you guys about it before we get into the sports and everything. So I appreciate you guys giving me your thoughts. It means a lot to me as well too. This right here affects all of us, and so I'm just so happy. I'm just 4 hours away from it. So
Right.
I'm just a little bit more. It just got hotter.
That's
outside.
close when it comes to a rocket.
It is,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So so I'm definitely gonna be keeping track of all that right there.
But the angels of heaven around you, Big Mike.
There you go. Finally made it live.
That's right.
Best wishes. Hey, so appreciate all you guys as well too. But anyway, with that being said, guys, we talked not really politics. We just kind of gave our opinion as far as what's going on with the Iran stuff in the U.S. and all that kind of stuff, and we're gonna just we'll monitor that as well. I'm not a political guy per se, but it's good to get you guys' thoughts. But on the basketball, we have two brand new what is it? BBN champions in
Yes.
Shay and then Wallace. BC, take us away on the NBA side of the house.
Yeah, man. Wallace, he was doing his thing and knocking down threes. And you know about SGA, league MVP, finals MVP, and
BC.
NBA world champion. Only he's the fourth guy to be able to do that. And guess who else is on the list? Kareem, Shaq, and the GOAT MJ. So he's on a list.
Yeah.
He's on a great list right there to be able to do that. It's hard to be able to win MVP and then finals MVP and win the whole thing. That's hard.
Oh, yeah.
Only 4 guys have been able to accomplish that.
Let me ask you guys a question and think about let's okay, because we're talking about this is in keeping with Shay. We remember Shay coming to Kentucky, and he was coming in to back up Quade. He was coming in to back up on Quade Green. Would we have ever? I don't know. I don't know if I want to use the word ever, but when he came in to back up Quade Green, did we really see this guy playing at the next level, the way he did? What's up?
I did when it came tournament time.
Yes.
He got better
Yes.
like the last 3 or 4 games of the season on into the tournament. And it was like, because Kentucky was running the pick and roll, I was like, this dude is on another level.
Yeah.
But
now, of course, I knew he was going to be an NBA player, but I didn't think he was going to be like where he's at now that fast.
He's the real deal, bro.
Yeah. He's been like this for the last 3 years.
3 years. He's been right there. I mean, he could have been last year. He could have been MVP. He was, I mean,
he could have.
And if it wasn't for the Joker, I think he would have won it maybe because I think Joker won it last year. I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think and even last year, people say he got robbed last year. But
could help. It's one of those things that whoever got, and Joker came in second this year.
Yeah.
And he came in first.
Yeah. that dude can ball too. So it's a yeah. But I sit back and I think about Shay, and I'm like, man, like how many people really envision this guy being this good? And I had when you sit down and watch it, and he just be like, he just looks so smooth with what he's doing, and he's always at the same level. Like he never panics, he never gets distressed. He doesn't just throw up. He don't just throw up bad shots to throw up bad shots. It looked like he's every shot he takes, he's completely calculated on what it is he's trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I'm super proud. Of course, if Indiana would have won, Jackson wouldn't have got a ring. But just like BC said, and Jimmy, just being able to complete the what is it like the three rings of one ring of one
Yeah.
year, I guess. I guess
Yeah.
if that's how you want to put
MVP,
it.
Finals
MVP,
MVP,
Finals
and
MVP,
champion, world champion.
champion. Yeah.
I mean, you can't like
It's a hell of a year.
hey,
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I
It's a hell of a
second
year,
that.
man.
Yeah, I second
His
that a
play,
long time.
his play just looks so effortless.
Yes, that's the
I
word I
mean,
need.
like smooth and effortless,
Yeah.
cool headed, just
And it don't drop off on defense either. I mean,
No.
he from one end to the other, it's like effortless, and it is just so well balanced out. I mean, yeah, it looks like he's just out there playing pickup games.
Yes, I think
Yeah.
that's probably Jimmy and Leah. You guys kind of hit it on the head, man. It just looks like it's just another day out on the floor, and and he seems like he's a very humble young man too. It doesn't seem like
Yeah.
he's too far up, that he's untouchable, and that's what I like about him. So I guess I'm an OKC fan today.
Yes.
Rah rah rah. So I've still got to go back and watch the game. But Leah, you mentioned something happened at the end of the game yesterday, and I know you guys probably seen it too. Leah, what and if you're a fan of just the sports, you got to feel for who? Leah.
Tyrese Halliburton
Hmm. Yeah.
tearing his Achilles. I mean, it's bad enough to do it, but to do it when you're there at that point, the final game of the of the championship, and there were three other guys, all number 0. I can't remember all of them, but all three of them tore their Achilles in the final game, the 7th game, and they all were 0. So, yeah, that's
Better
get rid of that number.
Hey,
Yeah.
you're playing 0 games for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah, you're
That's
playing
what it
0
is.
games for a while.
How many games you're going to play?
Sometimes you gotta look at the sometimes you gotta look at the writing on the wall. That's for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You gotta be like, look, hey, I'm pretty sure Tyrese's dad was there as well too. So
He was.
that guy, I'm pretty sure he was there at the game as well. So Jasper Johnson makes the USA under 19 or
Yeah.
U19
Hmm.
team that's gonna be playing in Switzerland.
He's a baller.
Yes, he is.
Yes. Yes.
Here's my question for you guys. We know he's a superstar. We know that we got another older class coming in next year. Is him making the under 19 team? Is he making a case for maybe we might want to look at him in the starting lineup because he's that good? Jimmy?
I would say yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a definite possibility. I mean, he made a statement that he made this team 12-man roster heading to Switzerland. Gonna go for the cup and win a gold. When he comes back, he's gonna be in great shape. I mean, I know it's probably going to be between him and basically Aberdeen, for that spot. But
Yeah.
when he comes back in, it's going to be practice. And between him and Aberdeen, like BC said, you're going to be playing defense, and the best player is going to play. And Pope, if Jasper's better than Aberdeen, Jasper's going to start.
Yeah. That's, I mean, yeah, the best person starts.
Mhm.
You earn that spot. You know, I think Pope doing that like Rick Pitino did. You earn that spot. You know, and if somebody's better, they should play.
Mhm.
BC, you big on talent. Is this a situation where maybe Jasper is has made a
Man, I
case that
told you, man. I think he's starting, man. I told you this dude's a beast. He's I think it's for his position to lose. He's probably the second best player on the team, as far
I
as
All
said
talent
he's
behind
going to
guys.
start. I
behind
picked him as
Ortega?
my starter.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him behind Ortega.
Oh, behind Ortega. Yeah, I would too.
I would agree to that.
Dude's a stud, man. He's a diaper
He
dandy,
is.
man.
He
He's
really is.
I know we probably had this one year where we forgot about Kentucky get those stud players in.
yeah
Those players one and dones.
yeah
Mhm.
But this he's a good player. He's a real good player.
When
he's
I was
that.
asked my starters, he's in it.
See, I'm not ready to start him yet. I think turn off my alarm, my 1:30 in the morning alarm to get up and walk. But usually I'm already up walking if I did. I didn't walk this morning. Didn't know if we're gonna get bombed or not. So I figured I'd stay. I'd stay in the house.
Stay home.
You know,
Yeah,
Don't even speak at Big Mike.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
don't say that. Don't say
Hey,
that.
No,
Hey, I didn't want
no.
to be out walking.
Cancel.
Hey, I didn't want to be out walking by the palm tree, and
No.
I see something coming down and take cover.
That ain't a coconut.
Hey,
Yeah, that.
hey, hey, as Forrest Whitaker, I mean not Forrest Whitaker, but as Forrest comes in, get down. He was always telling us to do something. I didn't want,
Yeah.
I didn't want something. Hey, I didn't want something to jump up and bite me in the butt.
Yeah.
So, and they fed me a lot of ice cream. So sorry to go off pitch. Sorry.
27 Dr. Peppers. He had to
Yeah.
pee.
Yeah.
I must have took about 14 Dr. Peppers.
Man.
So that is still Forrest Gump is still one of my favorite movies, man. I'm not gonna lie. Bro.
Classic.
Yeah. It's a
Do
classic.
you know they're
bro.
talking about a second one?
Oh no, they can't.
They
I don't need
no.
no more. I don't need no
No.
more Forrest Gump.
No, they.
Well,
leave it.
remember his son.
I don't need no more.
Oh,
Yeah,
But
they
they're
need to
talking
leave
about
it
a
alone.
second-
I don't. It has to. If they did another
Yeah.
one, it has to be really, really, really good. See,
Yeah.
movies like that, Forrest Gump, Christmas
don't want-
Vacation, all them.
Yeah.
You don't need another one because you can keep
No.
watching them year after year after
Yeah.
year
The
after
same
year.
one.
Year after year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But they can do what they want.
I can
Yeah.
watch Forrest Gump over and over. Now, I
Okay.
will say Happy Gilmore 2 is coming out, and the
Yeah.
previews
Oh, yeah,
look
yeah.
oh,
amazing.
that's right.
The
That's right.
previews look
As
great.
as Forrest Gump's he found out that he had a little son. Hello, Mr.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Gump.
Hello, Mr. Gump.
So that's just me.
I
But
like when
anyway,
they were both sitting there watching TV and both of them
Yeah.
at the same time tilted their
Yeah.
heads. That was great.
they set that up for success too as well. We done talked about the war. We done talked about Forrest Gump. We done talked about Jasper. Only on
Jasper.
one show. That's what we do right there.
What
Man,
was you saying about Jasper, Mike?
you
Say you're not ready to make him a starter.
I don't know yet, man. I mean, it's tough, and I know a lot of people are gonna probably as just as Leah does, and you, and I don't know about I'm not sure about you, Jimmy, but a lot of people probably already has Jasper in their starting lineup, and I just think it's gonna be one of those situations where we're gonna have to wait and just see. I mean, because we know Mark Pope doesn't promise playing time. He doesn't promise starters outside of Ortega. Because we don't even really know if really Garrison's even going to start this year. Some people might be like, well, it's his for the taking. But
See,
then
I
you
think
still
Garrison will start.
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah.
I do.
To beginning? Yeah.
Yeah.
I told you in my sleep,
Hmm.
Garrison is going to have a breakout year.
Yeah.
Told you in my sleep.
It was in my sleep. In my sleep, it came to me, and I was like, because y'all know just well as I do, I was on Garrison tough.
Yeah.
But in my sleep, he's gonna have a breakout year.
But my question is this though, BC, is he gonna start getting us a double in rebounds every game?
Yeah, he's gonna have a breakout year.
Well, hey, I don't necessarily care about the points. The points are good, but for me, I want to see the guy rebound.
10 and
I want
10.
to see. Okay, I mean, he give us 10 points and 10 rebounds a ball game, bro. Anybody that wouldn't take that, I don't know what else you're looking for.
I'm good with
You know
that.
what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
real good with that.
Now I'm going
Yeah.
by what was in my sleep now.
So
3 o'clock in the morning.
We're gonna have to get BC to start recording his dreams if it's about basketball.
BC gonna be dreaming, gonna wake up. BC, he gonna be like, Brendan Garrison, I got you, big guy.
Hey, it woke me up. I was up, man. Sometimes I wake up 3 o'clock in the morning, man. I'm up. I was at Brandon Garrison. He gonna have a breakout year. Okay.
BC, your wife's like, what are you talking
No,
about?
she sleep, man.
And she sleep.
Sometimes I wake her up, man. I mean, I wake up 3 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I pray and stuff. The best stuff comes to you at 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
It's just
That
complete
is not-
salad.
Usually I'm just going to sleep then.
Yeah.
I don't sleep.
know.
I have insomnia. I go to sleep about 3 or 4 and I get up at 8. You know, it's
I feel like I'm up that time of the night walking. I'll be outside walking. Be outside. My only competition out walking is the cats. So
Me and you might be up at the same time, Mike.
I know me and Jimmy's up at the same time because Jimmy be at work and so Jimmy works all night. So I know me and Jimmy we're up at the same time. So Jimmy he'll hit me up quite often and everything. But we may be up all of us. When y'all
I'm
in the bed
always up.
sleeping, I'm up. So y'all can count on me being up. I'm pretty much So somebody in this group is up 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
For sure. We don't have a lot of overlapping of when we sleep. Peanut says I think he gets the same amount of minutes whether he starts or not. Might get more looks off the bench though. It's I think what would bring back the platoon system. He's got the dudes. I don't know about the platoon, man. I don't know if his hands are going to be tied enough to have to do that. I think it's as far as like the rotation goes, I think he's going to have I think the rotation is going to be continuously, and I don't see why it wouldn't be a continuously rotation. We got enough dudes over there. It's absolutely no reason why people are running around out there with the tongue hanging out because they tired. I mean, we got enough people off the bench, on the bench that can come in and play. My thing is there a huge separation from the starters to the bench?
no.
I think that's what it comes down to. Do we lose? What do we lose when our bench comes in that our starters can give us? Because if we get in a habit of starting the same guys, which could possibly be the case, it wouldn't be like, oh man, we're starting the same guys every ball game. But is it going to be a major let off once we come to the game, or does the guys when they come off the bench, do they feel like they have something to prove because they didn't make the starting lineup? I think for myself, of course, everybody wants to be a starter. Hey, I'm a starter at Kentucky, or I'm a starter at what? Oh, I'm not sure if I told you guys the story. So I go to work. My boss hits me up before he picks me up for the first time that I'm here, right? So he hits me up, and I look at his icon. Most people, his little thumbnail. So most people have a picture of just whatever random stuff up. So he hits me up and says, "Hey, I'm gonna pick you up at 5 o'clock in the morning or whatever, for this class." I said, "Cool." So he doesn't have a picture of. I've never seen him before. So I go look at his little thumbnail. Dude, he's from Louisville, and he's a Louisville fan.
Oh,
So this is the only time that I've talked to him is when he sent me a text and told me, said, "Hey, I'm so and so. I'll be picking you up. You'll be working for me." So I said, "Cool." I'll walk all the way up to the front of the gate and I'll wait outside for him. And I'm walking. I'm walking in circles, getting my steps. He pulls up I promise you, the first thing he got out of the car, hey, Mr. Mike, how you doing? First thing I said, just L's down, baby. That's all we can do. I said, L's
That's
down. I
great.
said, that's it. I
Nice.
said, now, sir, how you doing?
Nice.
That priorities,
I had to
man.
do-
Priorities.
Yeah.
So I said, L's down. So I had a 3-day class. Actually, it was about 3.5, 4-day class. So my first day going to work, he was waiting for me. He was like, okay, I got you. Here we go. I get into class. I mean, I get to work in the office. He started introducing me. So I work with 3 Saudi guys, and then me and him as Americans. And he stands up, shakes my hand, welcome to the shop or whatever. He looks over to one of the Saudi guys and says, what do we do for Louisville? The Saudi guy looked at me and was like, I'm like, no, dog, put that down. So I'm already in a hostile environment. So I just sit over there with my head like this all day long. Let's get this
I
right.
would've.
Okay?
Yeah, you're a prisoner of war.
Yeah.
So everybody in the shop, everybody in the office just started laughing and like Louisville. And I said, well, I tell you what, if you go to Louisville, you better watch where you go because there's something called the first 48. You might not make it out.
Right.
So so I brought my I brought my mouse pad in and I took it out of my computer bag and I laid
Can
it on
we
the desk.
kick somebody out of the chat?
I can already say
Live.
reptilian. I don't
Needs
know.
to go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Whoever this is needs to go.
Reptilian.
Is there a way to get them out of here?
Let's see.
Because we're not having that hate in here.
Let me see. I'm glad y'all noticed that because I didn't see that at first, but let me see if I have a way of actually. I'm not sure.
See if you can get him out of here.
Let's see. I'm just realizing this right here, but I'm not finding. Let me see. He keeps doing this.
There
as
should be a
well.
way to get him out of here.
Let me see. How do I do this? I've never ever had to.
This is horrible.
Yeah. There ain't no damn sense in that.
Yeah, like okay. Thank you so much, Peanut, for that. I don't
Thank
know
you,
how
Peanut.
to.
Because
Let me
we're
see.
trying.
Yeah, I don't know how. I'm just seeing it too. I haven't even paid attention to it at all. Reptilian. I don't even know. Like, yeah, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to get rid of that.
Well,
Well,
we
here's
can
the
get rid
thing.
of it if we.
I want to say something right fast.
Yeah.
For individuals like this.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I teach young people, especially young people. I teach young people what that word really means, according to the Webster Dictionary.
Yeah.
And that way they can understand and they won't be ignorant, what the word means. So I try to put in context, if that's not what you are, don't be upset about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You overlook it. Because what it does is when a person uses that word out of context, they are the one that's ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So
They are.
Yeah.
if you don't get mad or upset, it has no power.
That's
Right.
true.
Because
Exactly.
here's the thing I try to teach. Because I tell young black kids, if you ask some black kids in inner cities what that means, they'll say them.
Yeah.
Because they've been taught that by rap music and stuff like that. So stuff like that I learned years ago, that doesn't bother me. It doesn't have no power. If you take our African brothers and sisters that came over from Africa, that word has no power over them.
Right.
Because they haven't been raised up in the American culture. So people like that, you just overlook them. You don't even give them no time of day. Because when that word has no power, people stop using it.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm sitting here the whole time like, it don't have no power over me. I see it, but I'm like, okay, this dude, something's wrong with him. Because remember, people that want to hurt people are hurt inside.
Yeah.
Hurt people hurt people.
Exactly. So
hurt people.
He needs a hug.
Yeah,
probably so.
yeah. Pray for him. It's
Pray for him doing something.
That's why you don't that's why he's in the chat and he don't have his real name or his picture.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
That's what cowards do.
Exactly.
Appreciate that, BC. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, we're
Perspective.
still gonna have a good time regardless of that.
Exactly.
Because this is Kentucky, and this is what we do too as well. I saw that, and Leah, you mentioned this too before too. What was Mo D had like a comment or something that he made about Coach Pope? What was that about?
Yeah, they did a little interview with him, and they asked him, how do you feel about Coach Pope and what he's doing, the track he's on or whatever? And he said Coach Pope ain't playing. He said he's winning. He wants to win. There is no in between. He said he's not playing around. He's out to win number 9. Like he said, fourth. He said, what was he said? Final 4? No, final winning. He's not gonna. He doesn't want to accept anything less this year. And one thing else that I thought was interesting was some of the teammates, some of Mo's new teammates at Kentucky, have been saying, "We're sure glad he's on our side now."
Yeah.
Like they're glad we've got him now. We don't have to go against him anymore. So I'm looking forward to him.
I look forward to and maybe when you look at Mo D and you look at what he's capable of doing as a player, how strong he is, how he gets Jimmy, I think you threw a stat up before too, the 50-50 balls or something like that.
Yeah.
He gets a high percentage of those rebounds. Yeah, he gets a high percentage of those rebounds and stuff like that. I wonder once Garrison sees that out of a guy like Mo D, how much does this encourage him to get even better? Now, don't get me wrong, Williams, after a certain amount of games, he started to come into his own when it comes to rebounding, and he did a whole lot better, maybe a few games into the season, than he did early into the season, getting 2-3 rebounds a ball game. No, you're 7 foot, you can't get 3 rebounds a ball game.
Yeah.
So I wonder how how BG feeds off of that, and it kind of inspires him to be able to get those 50-50 balls and get more of them and becoming a 10-10 guy, as BC has spoke about before. And sometimes really good players, but in that particular skill set, which we're talking about rebounding, sometimes that brings the best out of other people. So I hope after being behind Williams and now playing alongside of Aberdeen, I hope this is something that BG is able to pull. Like I said, I don't think BG's a bad player, but I've always wanted to see BG get, you're a big guy. You're 6'10", 6'11". You gotta average more than 4 rebounds a ball game. You have to, otherwise, and he's
you're
very
just in the way at 6'11". You're just in the way if you're not actually doing something.
Exactly, and that's my whole point about him is like we're gonna need you, because if we go back and look at last season, a lot of teams got a lot of second and third shots on us just because we couldn't grab rebounds. And yes, Williams came into his own, but it's like if you're out on the floor, if I put you in the ball game, can I count them? You know what I'm saying? You one of the 5 on the floor. That means you got to crash the board. So I think in year 2, I think that's going to be an emphasis that Coach Pope puts on the team is rebounding. And I hope in year 2 up under Coach Pope, BG. I know BC got his dreams about. I know BC has his dreams about BG.
It wasn't really a dream. It was just I woke up and it was
It was an epiphany.
Whatever y'all want to call it.
Yeah,
it was an epiphany.
Yeah,
but it's the piggyback off what you say, Mike. When you start to see other players that can rebound, that go after it, now it changes your perspective. Now you see it.
Mm-hmm.
Cause so last year, did he really see guys like that crash the boards, hit the boards hard?
Yeah.
So now he's seeing that. So that changes the perspective. It's all about perspective.
Oh, absolutely.
Well,
And
and when you look at it as earn your spot to play, somebody else out there doing it, like you're talking about, BC, that's going to give him more motivation. That's going to make him strive. That's going to make him have more drive and more emphasis on his game. That's going to make him be more physical, because you can't have, and the team around him. It goes back to what I've talked about a few times. The guys around you make a difference in how you play your game.
Yes.
You've got your game, you've got, your skill set, what you've got. But if you've got this one guy over here that just isn't on his game, it's going to break down the whole gambit of, everybody on the floor. You've got to go as a cohesive unit.
I think so too. And that's the same thing with we can even look at the case with Jalen Rowe. When when he comes to Kentucky, people want to say, well, he didn't really, he wasn't really that. He was okay at what's her name? He was okay at Pitt, but being here at Kentucky, I mean, like you're talking about, so much stuff is going to be taken off his shoulders, and he's not going to have to come in and be the man. If Coach Pope brought him in to be the point guard, the guy, then now he can really do that because of the people that he got beside him and behind him. He can come in and he can be really effective. And, numbers can go up. Doesn't need to be drastically up. I mean, numbers can improve because now you don't have to be the man. Now you don't have to come back down and spend so much time. I'm the only one playing defense, or, I got to have the ball in my hand the whole time. People say, well, his shooting wasn't all that great. Well, he had to do everything.
Instead of carrying the team now, he's going to be playing as a team.
Yeah. That makes a big difference as well, too. Because I know, as BC play ball and Jimmy plays ball, it's, when you have a team, a great supporting cast around you, it takes a lot off of you. I mean, and that's the same way it is in the workplace. If you're doing everything by yourself, and then all of a sudden you get people in that's going to work, that wants to meet your level of energy, and you don't have to do everything all by yourself. I mean, it makes the workplace more enjoyable. It makes practice more enjoyable. It makes life more enjoyable.
Productivity goes up.
Productivity goes up. It does, and it goes, and it's a ripple effect. As I think BC just mentioned, everybody is participating, and now it allows me to step up. Now I know that I can step up my defense because I got people beside me that's gonna help me if I get beat, and that makes a big difference mentally. And when you're mentally locked in, when you know that you don't have to do everything by yourself, I think that makes a big difference. I think this team that Pope put together, I think he put together an excellent team. Now, is the rest of the SEC going to be good? Maybe not on the caliber maybe that we had last year. But when you got guys coming back to Auburn, when you got Boogie Flan going down to Florida, when you got guys coming back to Arkansas and like stuff like that, I think Tennessee picked up some good guys. I think the SEC is still going to be a league to be reckoned with. Are we going to get 11, 12 teams in the tournament? I'm not ready to say that yet until I see everybody play. But is it still going to be, once we get into conference play, is people still going to beat each other? Are they still going to beat each other up? Oh, absolutely. Night in and night out.
Yeah.
It's still going to be a conference that you're going to have to compete every single night. Does Kentucky have a bunch of IOUs? Absolutely. Alabama, Auburn, So, we got a bunch of IOUs coming up.
Yeah.
But I think everyone stays within the scope of what Kentucky is trying to do, what the team is trying to do. And because of that, not being a Kentucky homer and not saying that we're not going to lose any ball games. So, not saying that we're not going to lose any ball games. I'm just saying those games that maybe we wasn't so competitive in, I think maybe this year we're a little bit more competitive than we was last year. And this is no knock on what we did last year. I still think we had a successful year last year, but I think year two has to be the expectation has risen in year two up under Coach Pope. Now he's done coach the Wildcats. He understands. He knows what the fan base is expecting, and while we giving him his praise for year one for Sweet 16, Coach Pope, we want more now. and you're never going to change Kentucky fans in that aspect. We're always going to want more. And even if we win number 9 this year, as I don't want to use the word sad, but as it is next year, we got to win number 10.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
So as I like bringing this up to BC, even though our expectations was maybe Sweet 16, Elite 8, our expectations is
Some
I
people's
think now,
expectations was Sweet 16.
somebody,
Some.
Some.
Yeah.
A fruit.
he said, don't put me in that class. Put me over here. So I think the expectations for Kentucky fans, the BBN, is definitely back up there to expectations. We got to go to Final Four, and now, no, I'm not ready to say if we don't go to Final Four that it was a bust. But if we don't go to Final Four,
I'll
it might be
say
a
it
bust.
for you.
I'll say it
How
for
about
you
that?
too.
I'll
Me
say
and
it for
BC
you.
can say, hey, it's Final Four or bust.
Yeah. Before we are sitting the bar for success at a title, okay. So this is a question by. Hey, thanks, Austin. Let me throw this up on the screen. Austin says, "Oh, I like how they put this up now. They actually
that's
changed how they
cool.
do
Yeah,
it."
that's
You
nice.
update.
I didn't realize that. Cool. Austin says, "Are we setting the bar for success at a title or just a Final Four?"
Both.
Kentucky fans is
Both. Yeah. We want Final Four and we want that title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peanut Wall never won a. So I think I still want to see Ortega with the ball in his hands at the end of the close the games. I mean, it would be. Man, I like this new box right here, man. It's just my first time seeing it. I like this.
That's cool. I like it.
It is cool. It just was. This is.
Hey, what's going on,
That is
JC?
a nice little lower third.
Ain't it though? That is. I didn't even realize that it's in there.
Yeah, that wasn't on the show last time.
No.
They did an
That's
update.
new.
They did.
Yeah,
an
that
update.
has to be an update.
Have you seen the new layouts they got now on Riverside? Oh yeah,
I haven't.
Surprised the heck out of me. It's a way new, but yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go look at this.
That wasn't on Wednesday show.
Well, as soon as somebody teaches me about Riverside, I'm gonna start trying to use it. So
yeah.
I know that
title. Let's see. Realistically, Ortega couldn't make him. Okay. Now I want to throw up comments. Yeah, JC. First, realistically, Ortega could make himself a lottery pick this year. Well, I'm okay with that because here's the thing: if we look at that, then that means he's having a really good year. Then.
Exactly. Yeah.
With that, man, like I said, we done seen guys come off the bench and be lottery picks.
Yeah,
I want him just to let the game come to him.
Yes. Exactly.
The far as we go in the tournament, and even if we get to the Final Four or the championship, your stock can go up. If you playing good on defensive end and you making plays and you setting up other players, that's big on the NBA. That's what NBA looks for, a guy that can get his own shot and make others better. I hope he just comes and let the game come to him. I hope he's not in the mindset of I gotta get average 20, 25 points. He doesn't have to do that at Kentucky.
He don't have to do that. No.
I hope he stays out of his own head when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about the NBA. Don't worry about you have to do this, you have to do this. Just play your game.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if he averages what he did last year and carries Kentucky to the Final Four, and then everybody else around him is getting better because of what he is doing on the floor and not being selfish, those NBA players or NBA scouts and teams eats that up.
Yeah.
Yep. He got really good feedback too, and I think that's gonna improve his game this year. You know, just the feedback that he got. And I think it's going to take a lot of pressure off of him.
Should I feel odd? No, I don't want this to be a dumb question. So
do you feel some kind of way?
Should I?
Oh.
So The sh- should I feel odd if I'm just sitting at my desk or riding down the road and think about Kentucky and just break out in a huge smile, just
Nope.
knowing how, you know,
No.
I do it all the time.
do you? I'll be like, you know what, this feels pretty good right here. So, oh, also, I'm
Just
going to
don't think
be
about football season.
Yeah, don't think about football season.
so speaking of football season. First of all, before we y'all save that, I gotta talk about Kenny Brooks. Kenny Brooks was able to get for the class of 26. He got a 5-star
Yep.
um,
Yep.
number 9 player in the class, according to On3. Her name is Savvy Swartz. She committed to Kentucky. And first thing when I first seen her picture, I was like, "Is that Georgia? Is that Georgia? A boy?"
She looks
And
like her.
yeah, I was like, "Is that her?" So she looks a little like she got a little muscles on her and everything. So congratulations to Coach Brooks. Coach Brooks is just over there, just
Yeah, she
he's
looks
over there
like she
just
looks tough.
yes,
Mhm.
that's exactly what I'm
Canada?
what yeah, she's from Canada. So
Might be
you
like
know, so
Shay.
Yep.
could
Yeah.
be,
She could be
could
the
be.
female version of Shay
Canada
Or
got
She's
some
Jamal
good
Murray.
players.
Jamal Murray.
or Jamal
Yeah,
yeah,
Murray.
Canada got good
yeah.
players.
Heck
Canada
yeah.
and Kentucky's kind of like
They
got a
are.
link going on.
It's,
Yep.
it, it's,
Well, Jamal McGlure was from Canada.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
so let's
So
see. So I think everybody that we got from Canada has been
Six
good so
one.
far, huh?
Yes.
everybody, there's nobody we got from Canada that hasn't been a baller.
Yeah, they.
So what did they call it? It's a pipeline to Canada.
Yeah, there
I
you
can't.
go.
There you
That's
go.
what
The
they call it.
pipeline to Canada.
See,
I
I
was
didn't
looking
want to
for
say
that word.
pipeline because
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's football will make it bold.
We got a
Uh,
hotline to Canada.
There you go.
There we
there you
go.
go.
We
We
got a
used to
hotline.
use that line when it comes to Vince Merle when I guess in Ohio or whatever he had a pipeline to the schools there. I guess we can't use that anymore, so I guess Louisville can start using that now.
We
Unfortunately.
use hotline.
Uh, so speaking of football, I was in Louisville right before I left, and I'm not sure if I told you guys, but I was walking through the mall, and me and my wife was on our way out, and this guy passed me, and I don't know why. We just gave the heads up or whatever. Hey, how you doing? So we kept walking, and for some reason, my wife had stopped and started looking at something. So I stopped because I'm just with the wife. And I turn around and I noticed a guy walking towards me. He said, "Hey man," he said, what's the BBN show? What's all of that about?" So I started talking to him about it and everything. And so just so happened his son is a new freshman for UK football. So
Oh, cool.
I'm actually going to interview him Thursday night. Well,
Nice.
it won't be
Cool.
live, but he does a lot of marketing like stuff like that as well too. So he wants to talk to me and so like stuff like that. So that'll be a recorded video that I will upload as well too. So um, I on the show you'll find out who his son. His son's a freshman and stuff like that. I think his son.
Nice.
I don't want to give his position away because I don't know how many. I'm not sure how many of these guys came as freshmen, but on the show and stuff like that, him and I will talk about his son. I think he wants to talk about his son a little bit, but not too much more so than it's just about Kentucky, like the UK fan experience and all that kind of things. And he's kind of going to give me his perspective. And so his kid chose Kentucky over. I don't want to get this wrong, and I'll let him tell me too as well. But I think his son chose Kentucky over Florida and over a couple more big teams as well too. He chose to go to Kentucky. Now I'm not sure if that was
Nice.
because of Vince Merrill, but his son decided that just, even though Vince left or like all that like there, he still was going to stick with the program here in Kentucky. So I definitely would be. I'll be talking to him Thursday night, Friday morning my time. So that'll be out hopefully about a weekend too as well. So I was going to just kind of throw that out there as well too. I never really spoke to a parent that plays at Kentucky that has a kid. So we're doing it, man. We're doing it
Yay!
together. Uh, as well. But yeah, man, just getting back to kind of, the basketball and everything with those guys, I really think we're really setting up for a pretty nice year this year. and I like that. While everyone kind of gave the pass of a Sweet 16, I like that we're back to the norm now. Is like, okay, we're back to give me a Final Four, or we're gonna be
Right.
talking about Coach Pope. That was a bust. So I like that too as well. Uh,
If you go back to 2019 20, we were all sitting here going, we are never going to win another game. But,
that's
things are
well, I
different
mean
now.
that's
There's a new sheriff in town.
yeah, it's a different vibe now. It's a different, I don't want to say it's a different expectations because we've always wanted a Final Four national championship. So I wouldn't say that the fan base has changed on it, but I think the fan base, and this is, Cal did what he did for Kentucky. I don't have any shade for Kentucky. Sometimes we all have to move on and do something else. Leadership always changes. That's why the president don't do but 4 years. If he
Right.
gets reelected with 8 years, but everyone moves on from their job, and people get motivated, they get inspired. So hopefully, with Pope being here at Kentucky now, that's exactly where you can see the energy with the fan base. The fan base is much higher now that it's been in a long time, and people are just like, "Can we just get football season over
I
with,
know,
so
right?
we can get so we can get the
The
basketball season?"
excitement is back.
Yeah, I think it's back by a long shot, and I think that's the joy of being here at Kentucky Small World. Even if let's see if I can throw up some of these comments. Got Price might be on the level of Prince might be on the level of Antoine Starter on the championship team, but not the guy. Um, so let me ask you guys: Does with this team and consider Ortega coming back, does Ortega have to be the guy that's going to get us at number 9, or just like BC said, stay within the game? Is it a
I
night
think
in,
it's the
night
whole
out?
team.
Depends on. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, was Shay the guy this year for what I'm saying, for
Of
OKC?
course, he's
Yeah, he
Well,
was the
yeah,
guy,
He
he's the
was.
yeah,
man.
but he had a very well supporting cast.
Yeah,
yeah.
So
it's
is that going?
it's
Go ahead,
very
BC.
important. It's very important to know who that guy is and respect that guy. You bring up
Okay,
OKC. On OKC, their team, they have so much chemistry. They want Shea to be their guy, and they want him to succeed.
There you go.
yeah,
Now,
Yeah,
Ortega, he has to be, if not the best player, or the second best player, night in and night out. Why?
okay,
Because he knows the offense and he came back to win a championship. He has to be, at any team, you have to have that person to say, oh, he's our guy.
mhm.
yeah,
And if everybody respects that collectively, it works together. But
Exactly.
the Miami Heat, they didn't start winning a championship till D Wade and everybody said LeBron's the guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because if you got so many guys thinking they the guy inside the head, it doesn't gel.
No, it doesn't. You're
that,
right.
that's a hard clash. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that makes sense. And
That's why Mark Pope gets paid the big bucks.
yeah.
Exactly.
absolutely. I'm glad I don't have to make those decisions. That's for sure. What's up, Liv?
Speaking of jail,
Yeah.
Jelly has his green card. He's already
Yeah.
had it.
Okay.
He's got to finish school. That's why he's not here yet. As soon as he
Okay.
finishes school, he'll be here in the next. He said few weeks. His own quotes were a few weeks, possibly a few days. They're just waiting for
Yeah.
school to finish. There is no visa issue because people were worried, is it going to be like a big Z thing, whatever? But
Yeah.
there's no issues. He's
No, I
already
think that
had his.
stuff's over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
that's
so too. But there were people that were concerned because
well. The
he's not
thing,
here yet.
the
He's gonna
thing
be a
is,
wild card.
yeah, the thing is,
Yeah.
half the team that he plays for is coming to the United States and playing college basketball. So there's
Yeah.
like 6 or 7 players off of the mega team that's coming to the United States this year. Auburn's got one of the players.
I know Otis threw up a comment about that earlier, so I was able to go back and find it. So I threw it up right here too. That's a good point, Lee. I appreciate that. Where is it set right here? Yeah. Jelly got his Visa card. He's just waiting on his school to finish. He said he'll be here in
Hey, Mike, could you mute me for a second?
I sure can.
Okay, I'll be back.
Let me see. Okay, 1 second, BC. Let me see. Yeah. So I think that's pretty good. Someone in the program told KSR. So that's good then, and the sooner that we can get him in, the sooner he can get accolade to what's going on. And with having Jasper out now, I think Jasper is done July the 6th. I think that's when I think that's when the U19 tournament is over. I think
it's the 1st through the 6th. Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe
something
that's
like that.
Yeah.
Let's see. I probably can't go back and look that up, but
I can.
Can you prove? Let's see. Because they was talking about it. That I seen it on my what's name. Let me see. Because it says something about you can watch it. Jasper will be playing. Where's that at? Somewhere. Oh, June the 28th through July the 6th.
Okay, that's it.
Playing. So, so that's what we're looking at right there. So we know that after the 6th, Jasper will probably come home, maybe rest a little bit, and then he'll be ready to get back full speed with the team as well. And just like Leah said earlier as well too, he's gonna be in shape. So he's definitely gonna be in shape as well too. I look for I look for him to come in ready to go, energized, and focused on the task at hand, and that is to winning a championship for Coach Pope. But it's always good when Kentucky can get a. Now, I haven't looked at the list, and I don't know if any team out there has more than one player on U19.
I haven't seen any that were more than one.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of that as well. Neither.
No.
I don't know. So let me get BC back in here. Hold on 1 second, BC. Let me get you back in here. All right, there you go. BC, you hot?
No, Coca-Cola, man.
Coca-Cola. Get you a little drink, huh? That would be good. I'm actually over here, man. I'm really trying to control what I eat yesterday. What I eat. I did do something yesterday that really, 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 really stretched me yesterday. And I never did this, even when I was in Kuwait, even when I was in the military, I never did it. But like I said, I work real close with three Saudi gentlemen, really, really great guys. And so we went out to eat yesterday, and when I was coming up the stairs, the Saudi guys, they had already ordered for everybody. So, and as you guys, if you know anything about the Middle East, when they eat, they all eat, they all eat collectively as a group or whatever. So, but I did something yesterday that I've never did, something that really in America, you only do with your family. Really people really, really close to you. And then some people won't even do it then. But
you did not double dip, did you?
Oh.
No, you didn't double dip. For real,
bro. Well, here's the thing though. Like listen. Hold on for a second.
I knew it.
Hear me out for a second. Hear me out. The containers that they bring are really, really big, right? Really, really big. Really, really bigger than I thought they was. So the way that it's set up, it ain't sectioned off. I know, man. I know. It's I'm still praying for God to forgive me.
You probably stick your hand in the bag of chips.
No. It wasn't. It wasn't.
I knew that's where you were going with that.
Well, it wasn't my hand. It was a spoon. So I had my own spoon and everything. But the way that it worked out is it's kind of like the dead center of it didn't get eaten. So like everybody it was full of it. So everybody kind of had their own little corner that they were specifically eating off of. So trust me, it sort of kind of happened to me. And I was like, what the freak you doing, Mike? This ain't what we do, dog. To myself, I'm like, okay, do I be disrespectful? Am I gonna disrespect what Custom. They do here and everything? Now, is this gonna be a norm for me to eat like this? Absolutely not. But it was just kind of one of those things that just kind of happened. And it was kind of like, okay, I guess. But the whole time I'm like, what you doing, dog? What you doing? You know what I mean? You from Franklin, Kentucky. We don't do that.
Act like you got some Sims.
Yeah, right.
So it was.
Your mama raised you better.
Yeah. So I stayed within my part. I said, okay, I said, this is America. I'm going to eat my little portion or whatever, and I'm going to be done. But, we didn't share drinks or nothing like that. Everybody had their own drinks. But as far as just doing that, I was just like, okay, dude, like,
When
okay,
you started telling that was the first thing that popped into my mind was you double dipped.
Yeah. So but it was really good though. I'm not sure if I was hungry or what, but it was good. It was really, really good. So when I came home, I went to the gym for an hour and then I went to bed because I was like, I had to think about my life for a second. You know what I mean? I started doing it and my life kind of it kind of flashed before me for a second. Like, is this where you at now in your life, Big Mike? This is what we're doing now. You live it? So
wasn't that on Seinfeld one time with George Costanza and he double dipped?
Yes.
So
one of the episodes.
I was like, so
yeah,
what are you
the
doing?
Trash can too. Yeah. Mike double dip.
They do. Peanut said, don't they have like 30 different sauces for one meal? Now they had this red sauce that was real spicy. I did try it because I just wanted, to kind of try it. It was a little spicy. So I was able to try that too as well. And once again, you just pour it on your little section and stuff like that. But I told him, I said, look, I was honest with him. I said, look, this is my first time ever doing this. My whole time in Kuwait, I never did this. I've seen people doing it. I was like, nope, you won't catch me doing it. Where's my plate at? But I don't know if I was saying want to fit in, but I guess I was just trying to be more respectful of their culture and like stuff like that. But I didn't take it. Yeah. So I just let's just say this. I got a plate in my backpack now that I'm gonna come and carry around with me.
Oh no. He's gonna carry his own plate and utensils everywhere he goes now.
I got me a plate now. I'm gonna carry my plate with me, and I'll take care of it. But they always most people before they start eating and like stuff like that, they really, of course, we wash our hands, but a lot of people over there, they wash their faces and rinse their mouth out and stuff like that before they even start eating. So it's I'm trying to to fit in and all that kind of stuff, but we'll see how that all goes as well too. But hey, man, we had a great show. Yeah. Sorry, everything.
Hey, about. Carl, thanks for asking. Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you doing, buddy?
That's good.
But yeah, it was a good little show.
Yeah, I know what basketball is.
We talked about literally everything.
We talked about everything today. But just continue to pray for the troops and and stuff like that. They got my son hit me up and he's in Italy. He's actually on deployment right now. He's not in the Middle East, but I told him just kind of keep me updated. I said, you're 21 years old. You ain't ready for this life yet.
Yeah, no.
I said, you came in for a job. You ain't ready for that. He said, Dad, I'm ready. He said, I said, I know you're not. I said, don't worry about it though. Hey, I like the motivation that you have, but you ain't ready for that life yet. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that's kind of how that go. But yeah, man, we still got Kentucky going on. We still got a lot of stuff going. I guess before I get off, I guess Kentucky football got a commitment. I don't get excited
cornerback. Cornerback. You talking about?
I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Corner.
I think that's what he was as well too. So this is not to be. What's up, Leah?
I just want to remind everybody about the basketball tournament on July 19th at the Lexington Ice Center for the people in London, Kentucky that were affected by the tornadoes.
Yes, that's still
Loyal
going on.
BBN versus Kentucky Live.
So that's going to be a lot of fun. Look, oh man,
I'm the coach for the Loyal BBN fan show. So you go ahead and put down a victory. Put down a victory.
Jimmy Jam.
Jimmy gonna be in there running. He could be in there running the triangle offense.
I got three players. I can run a triangle with three.
Yep.
He's gonna be in what's that drill called when you 3-man weave? They're gonna be They're gonna be running half court doing the 3-man weave.
Do that Harlem Globetrotter thing right at the top
For
of the
real.
key and hit
He
back
sure
doors.
is.
Hey,
Oh,
I'm gonna
yeah.
go out there. I'm gonna be refereeing too. I'm gonna go out there referee. I'm gonna be mic'd up. I'll be like, yelling at myself.
Yeah. Hey, this is the new Ice Cube 3-on-3 tournament.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey, Jimmy, if I was about 15, 20 years younger, we'll win that thing for sure.
oh, you ain't kidding. Yeah. If I wasn't 53, 54, I'd be playing at it. But no, I'm not doing that. I'm too competitive. If I get out there and try to play right now, I'd wake up the next morning and not be able to move.
It's a business decision right now.
It is.
That's exactly what it is. For sure. So,
I don't want termite killer.
I saw what happened. No, I don't want no knee injuries, MCL, ACL, Achilles, nothing.
Absolutely. Peanut says, I don't know if it's possible, but I hope we can get this figured out peacefully.
Yeah,
I
we all
think
do.
so too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope nobody sets back and hopes. Well, some people do, but I definitely hope that this thing that's going on with everything. But I guess, it is, some type of war. When you fire shots and missiles and stuff, and and people start dying, I guess you can say,
Yeah, it's a war.
Yeah, it's a war. I think you got
it. It wasn't no gun. It wasn't no gunfight.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
We've been in war for a while. We've been in war for the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Last 2 or 3 years.
So we definitely got to, but definitely keep the troops in your mind and your thoughts and everything. Yeah. I appreciate all the texts and everything.
Hey, Carl. Carl he just had a birthday, so happy birthday, Carl!
Happy birthday, Carl!
Happy B-Day.
Thank you so much, man. What are you, Carl? 18 years old now, big guy?
Yeah, just like me. Yeah.
Carl's out there living his best life. That's for sure.
Yes, sir.
Leah and Jimmy. Man, thank you guys so much for jumping on. Don't forget, guys, on Wednesday nights, Leah and Jimmy will be live at 7 Eastern. Those guys always have a wonderful show. Don't forget to come out and support them too as well. I appreciate it. Man, great show, man. Great fun too, man. Yeah. Thanks for letting me tell my stories, I guess. And I try not to double dip a lot. Hey, now when I look at somebody, I can be able to say I tried it. But so I won't be lying. But I don't have to lie about it. Yeah, I tried this before.
I tried it. Yeah.
Not sure how many more times I'm going to try it, but that's part of the culture. And they
you got a plate in your backpack, man.
Yeah, I got a plate.
Yeah.
That might be disrespectful.
See, and that's the thing. I didn't want to be disrespectful. Now, these guys are pretty cool and like stuff like that. So I don't think they would have an issue with me getting a plate and kind of just doing my own thing. But I did told them, I said, hey, we're used to having the big dish, having a big spoon and dipping out and putting on your plate and then eating. We don't do this. We don't, but I was trying to be respectful, and I guess I was hungry. So the food was extremely good. So, let me go work off my double dip. I got to go work that off there. But hey, guys, thank you guys once again for jumping on with me on a Monday night show. I appreciate it. I think I'm going to try to go for like a 30-minute walk before I come back and take a shower and start getting ready for work and stuff like that. But hey, I appreciate all you guys. Don't forget to hit that like button if you haven't already. It means a lot to us. Please share the channel with your family and friends. Thank you, guys. We're just trying to be consistent throughout the summer. We know that it's not a whole lot going on, but we try to show up and we try to have a good time. And usually we don't talk politics or nothing like that. But with seeing, considering what's going on in the world, the bomb that hit Qatar is only 4 hours or so away from me where I'm at. I just thought, I wanted to hear what these guys thought tonight about the situation and everything. So thank you guys for being willing to talk about it, giving you guys' thoughts. It means a lot to me as well, too. So, guys, until next time, I appreciate every one of you guys. Thank you guys for the fans and all that stuff. Until next time, the Loyal BBN Fan Show here, and we are out.